All right, let's jump right in. Today we're going to unpack the central argument of a book called Occult History, and it's a wild one. It traces a single, powerful idea, what it calls an ancient lie, from the very beginning of recorded history all the way to, well, to the movies you watch and the phone in your hand.
It all comes down to this one line. According to the book we're exploring, this promise, whispered in the Garden of Eden, isn't just a piece of ancient text. It's the secret ambition, this invisible thread that pulls its way through thousands of years of history, connecting everything from ancient fallen angels all the way to modern-day Silicon Valley.
And that really brings us to the core question this book asks, and it's what we're going to dig into. What if that one ancient desire, to be a god, what if that's the secret fuel for everything? From the secret societies of the past to the tech we use every single day. Let's follow the breadcrumbs this book lays out and see just where this idea takes us.
Okay, so first up, before we can go any further, we really have to get our heads around the central idea, the one concept that the entire book is built on, and that idea is something called Gnosis.
So what exactly is Gnosis? Well, the book basically frames it as the ultimate cheat code, the shortcut to becoming a god. It ties it directly back to that original promise in Eden. It's this, really radical idea that says, hey, you don't need a creator god, because if you can just get your hands on the right secret knowledge, you can become a god yourself.
And this right here, this is where the book really draws a line in the sand. It lays out two totally different ways of seeing the world. On one hand, you've got the biblical worldview. There's one creator, and he reveals truth to us. But then you have this Gnostic alternative, which is basically the opposite. It says, no, you don't wait for truth, you discover it. You find secret knowledge, maybe offered by other beings, and you use it to become divine yourself. This, according to the source, is the fundamental conflict that kicks off all of history.
Okay, so if that's the big idea, the Gnostic doctrine, how in the world did it survive and spread? I mean, how does an idea like that survive for thousands of years? Well, according to this book, it all started with a pretty dramatic supernatural event, and then a massive act of human rebellion. So this timeline kind of gives us the play-by-play, at least according to the source. It kicks off with a claim of fallen angels corrupting humanity. Then you get this massive reset button, the Great Flood. But here's the key part. The idea itself, this Gnostic impulse, it doesn't get washed away. The book says it pops right back up after the flood, this time with a huge project, the Tower of Babel. And what was the point of the tower? To make a name for ourselves.
And this is a really critical point in the book's argument. When God scattered the people at Babel, the knowledge they had didn't just vanish into thin air. No, it went underground. It splintered off, becoming the secret foundation for all the ancient mystery religions. The author claims this is why you see such similar stories, the mother and child, the dying and rising God, popping up in completely different cultures, from Egypt and Greece all the way to India.
Okay, so the idea went underground. Let's follow the trail. How does the book trace this hidden river of knowledge through time? It claims it flows out of the ancient world, kind of disappears into the shadows during the Middle Ages, and then bursts back out into the open during the Enlightenment.
And this is fascinating. The book basically lays out this secret handoff, like a torch being passed down through the ages. First it says the Knights Templar pick it up in the East during the Crusades. Then, during the Renaissance, it gets a new life through ancient Egyptian magic and Hermeticism, that whole as above, so below thing. From there, it's preserved inside secret societies like the Freemasons. And then, and this is a huge shift, it comes out into the open during the Enlightenment. But it's wearing a new costume. It's not about magic anymore. It's about human reason. Reason becomes the new god. And the book claims even Lucifer gets a rebrand, no longer the villain, but the heroic light-bearer who brings knowledge to humanity.
So, if this was all kept hush-hush in secret societies for so long, where is it today? Well, here's where the book makes a really bold claim. It says it's not secret at all anymore. In fact, it's being beamed into our homes 24/7 by, you guessed it, Hollywood.
I mean, take a look at this breakdown. The author deconstructs some of the most common themes in kids' movies. Think about it. Follow your heart. What does that really mean? The book argues it's teaching that you are your own highest moral authority. Or break the rules, especially against a father figure. The book sees that as a metaphor for rebelling against a creator god. Find your truth suggests truth is just relative. And magic, it's always a power that was inside you all along, right? You just have to unlock it. It's all part of what the author calls the gospel of the self.
But the argument doesn't end with movies, not even close. From Hollywood, the book takes us straight to Silicon Valley.
It basically says that the tech geniuses of today are the new high priests of this ancient religion, and they're trying to achieve with computer code what the ancient alchemists could only dream of.
And look at this quote. When someone like Elon Musk says that with AI, we are summoning the demon, the book points to that and says, see? From this perspective, the race to build a true artificial intelligence, it isn't just about technology. It's a spiritual quest. It's the attempt to literally create a new god, to summon a mind from the machine.
So the book is drawing a straight line, right? From that ancient Tower of Babel, built with bricks, to the new towers of our time, built with code. It argues that it's the exact same ambition. Whether it's Meta trying to build a whole new digital universe or Google trying to literally solve death, the goal hasn't changed. It's still about humanity trying to build its own way to heaven, to achieve immortality on its own terms.
And this is where it all comes together. The book takes all these different threads, the ancient mystery religions, the secret societies, Hollywood, Silicon Valley, and claims they're all weaving together, all heading towards one specific endgame that it says was prophesied a long time ago.
So the author turns to the Book of Revelation and interprets its prophecies as the final chapter of this whole Gnostic story. It describes a one-world system, not based on force, but on these really appealing ideas of unity and human potential. And this system, it claims, will have a charismatic leader and will be powered by some incredible technology, an image of the beast that can think and talk for itself, a system that ultimately demands total allegiance, symbolized by a mark.
And right there, according to the book, is the final, ultimate twist. That whole long story that started with a whisper in a garden, you will be like God. The book claims it's all building to a moment where the whole world is commanded to worship a man who declares, I am God. It's the complete journey from a subtle lie to an open demand.
So there you have it. That's the core argument of occult history. It's this absolutely huge, sweeping story that tries to connect pretty much everything back to one single spiritual rebellion. Now look, whether you buy the whole argument or not, the central premise is pretty thought-provoking, isn't it? If it's true that ideas have these long, hidden histories, that they have agendas, then the biggest question isn't about what happened 2,000 years ago. The question is for right now. What stories, what promises, and what ideas are shaping you?